Hello friends, and welcome to my kitchen. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you 3 different breakfasts that I've made for my family in the past couple of weeks and hope to inspire you to cook up something delicious in the morning, especially over these holidays that maybe you're at home a little bit more and you can spend more time in the kitchen in the morning. Good morning, everyone. Here's the first breakfast that I have for you. It's a crustless quiche. So yesterday evening, I started the preparation. I sauteed, I don't know if you can see well, but I sauteed red pepper and some mushrooms and onion. I sauteed that with some butter and just to cook it up a bit and then put it in the fridge overnight. I put it in a greased pan this morning with a cup of cheddar cheese. And in my bowl here, I have 8 eggs and 1 1/3 cups of milk that I whisked together, and I put salt and pepper to taste. So I'm going to pour this over my veggies and my cheese and pop it in a 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes until it's nice and firm to touch on the top and golden brown. So I just did a veggie crustless quiche today, but I mean, you could put in a cup of whatever add-ins you want. So if you wanted cubed ham or any other types of veggies or bacon, you go ahead and do that. We switch it up here too. So it's just really good. And I'm gonna serve it probably with some toast, and some of the boys like to make a sandwich with it. With the toast, I'll just cut it in a square. Another morning and another recipe for you. This morning we're making whole wheat waffles.
In the morning, I'm making waffles. Oh!
So this is a good recipe that you can prep in advance if you have busy weekday mornings. You can prepare these on the weekend and then store them in the fridge, pop them in the toaster the morning that you want to eat them. And they taste so much better than the store-bought ones. And you know that they have wholesome ingredients and no preservatives in them. So what you'll need to begin with is 1 cup of whole wheat flour, 1/2 cup of white flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 3/4 cups of plain yogurt, or you could also use buttermilk. We'll need 3 eggs separated, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/2 cup of butter, which will be melting. First, get your waffle iron heating up. You want to have a nice hot waffle iron when you pour the batter in. I have coconut oil on mine to grease it to keep the waffle from sticking, because you don't want your waffles to stick. It's a big mess to clean up all between the squares. So use a little bit of coconut oil or vegetable oil, whatever you have on hand. I'm just going to put the butter on to melt so that while we make the butter will melt. And of course, if you have a microwave that works, use your microwave. I'm going to mix the dry ingredients in this small bowl here. So I'll have my 1 cup of whole wheat flour that we'll put in, and then I have my 1/2 cup of white flour. Then we have 2 teaspoons of the baking powder, which I will sift. There we go. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, sift these through. Then I'll give it a little stir to mix the baking powder throughout the flour. And then set this aside. Now I'm going to separate the eggs. I'm going to put the whites in here that I'll whip up with my KitchenAid, and the yolks, I'll put them in a bigger bowl, and we'll put the wet ingredients in there. Bigger bowl. So to separate my eggs, I always just do it in the shell. So I just let the white fall in here and kind of go back and forth with the yolk until you have just the white, and I'll put the yolk in here. Then we'll do a second and a third. Okay, just gonna wash my hands. All right, I'll just set that aside. In here, I'll put the yogurt and the vanilla. If you like a sweeter batter for your waffles, you can add a couple tablespoons of honey, but I don't put any sweetness in my batter because we eat it with maple syrup usually, so it's sweet enough. So we need 1 3/4 cups of the yogurt. So put that in here. I brought my egg whites over to my KitchenAid, so I'm going to pop that on. And we're going to whisk it up until nice white peaks form. Okay, look how great that looks. It's nicely beaten up, and this will add a nice fluffy texture to the waffle. Okay, back over here in my liquid ingredients, I'm just going to add the melted butter. It did get a little bit browned because I had to leave the kitchen for a minute, but still perfectly fine. So I'll mix this in, and then we're going to add the dry ingredients. Slowly into this. And just mix until it's combined. It's nice and thick because we use yogurt. Well, if you use buttermilk, it's a little bit thinner. But we're going to add the egg whites now, and that's going to thin it out and make it nice and airy. So I'll just add the egg whites a little bit at a time. And fold it in with my spatula. Sometimes we do put mini chocolate chips in the waffles too. The boys like that. So I'll just fold this in and just do a little bit at a time. And then we're ready to put it on our waffle iron. bubbly. So let's go over to the waffle iron and cook these up. Good morning, everyone. This morning we are going to make steak and eggs. It's Saturday morning. We had steak last night for supper. There was one left over, and so this is what I often do with some leftover steak. We make steak and eggs. So I've chopped up some onion and green pepper. I've sliced my leftover steak so that it's ready, and I've cracked the eggs in. I'm going to whisk it and add some milk. And I have some cheese grated ready to put on the top after. So I'll heat my skillet and put in the onion and green pepper so it can soften up. And yeah. And the dog is right here. She smells the steak. Yeah, she wants some. Thank you for watching this What's for Breakfast video. If you like these types of videos, please like and subscribe so you don't miss what's happening in Mary's kitchen. And may God bless you with his love, joy, peace, and good health. Bye.